U.S. government ban Bitcoin. According to Steve Forbes, this remains a very likely possibility. If you just watched his video from the Forbes report today. In fact, I've interviewed Steve Forbes a few times before, respect his opinion, so I'm going to dig into that. Will the U.S. government and other governments, in addition to India, ban Bitcoin? We're going to talk about a brand new blockchain technology called clout taking the world by storm, which allows you to basically monetize your social media presence. So, for example, Elon Musk is trading as a token. He's been tokenized. So has Gary V, people like myself, like you're tuning into here on YouTube right now. Also, Joe Biden says he's going to start opening up travel again, potentially in May. Not really sure what that means. Is that lifted travel restrictions on flying to destinations or border crossings? We'll get into more of that in a minute. But before we do that, make sure you hit this like button, hard hitting and in your face. I'm Christopher Greene. Of course, this is AMTV. It is March 18th, 2021. So smash the like button. So Steve Forbes came out today and said that there is a possibility that in addition to India saying that they're going to ban Bitcoin. Now, of course, India's banned and then lifted the ban on Bitcoin 1,000 times, by the way. So I don't know how much precedent this really sets, but suggesting potentially that U.S. regulators could be in play now to maybe force a ban. Now, we were talking about capital controls yesterday in the video where I discussed Ray Dalio saying he thought that this could happen similarly to what we saw in the gold market in years past. And because the Federal Reserve might not like the fact that a lot of money and all this free capital, because interest rates are at zero and the bailouts have been going to infinity and margin debt is at all-time highs, and we're getting all these record prices, is flowing into investable assets that, of course, can keep pace with inflation. So maybe the central bank actually does something and then just develops their own CBDC or central bank digital coin or token or currency equivalent. Well, here's my thoughts on this. Let me ask just a couple of questions because I think asking questions will actually solve the riddle to whether or not they will ban Bitcoin. If the government is banning Bitcoin, then why is it allowing all the major banks to invest in it? Why are they allowing companies like Morgan Stanley to announce that they're going to start offering Bitcoin and blockchain investments in cryptocurrencies to their high net worth clients? Why would U.S. regulators be allowing Coinbase, which some have estimated has a $100 billion valuation, come to market in a direct listing IPO at the end of this month if they were going to ban it? Why would PayPal be buying and selling Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies if they were going to ban it? Why would Jack Dorsey's founder and creator of Twitter be engaged in blockchain technology and sustainable mining solutions for proof of work technology like BTC or Bitcoin if they were banning it? You see, what I think is going to happen, instead of banning it, they're going to regulate it and co-opt it, which is what I've been saying from the very, very beginning here at AMTV for over the last 10 years. This is going to get so big, like the black hole of currency, as it sucks in trillions and trillions of dollars and new financial assets, and eventually it's just regulated, which is good and bullish. It will only take the market much, much higher, in my humble opinion. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think that we will see fears, potentially, kind of like what we're seeing drip out now, of a ban. But here's the truth as well. Most people don't own cryptocurrency. In fact, I'm assuming a lot of you even tuning in, even though I talk about it every single day, have failed to even buy a penny worth of BTC. If I go on the street and ask 10 people, hey, do you own Bitcoin? A lot of them have heard of it, but they don't own it, which tells me it's still very, very early. Now, again, why would they dump their own bags? Wall Street institutions, Goldman Sachs, I'd never bet against them, huge technologists, Peter Thiel, one of the founders of PayPal, and other amazing companies all own Bitcoin. So why would they own this stuff? Why would the banks be, quasi-approving it? Why would U.S. regulators and the SEC allow massive $100 billion potential IPOs to come to market like Coinbase, where its primary function is to buy and sell Bitcoin, if they were going to ban it? It honestly doesn't make any logical sense. The only sense that it does make is that there will be fears, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt about potential bans, but there will not be a ban. Also, let's address CBDCs for a moment, central bank digital tokens. Those will actually work, or coins, in direct coordination with the private sector. This is what people don't understand. It's not that we're just going to move, in my opinion, this is my opinion, to CBDCs and then they're going to get rid of Bitcoin. No, they're going to work with both entities. The private side, the development side, blockchains like Ethereum, for example, ERC20 tokens. They're going to work with XRP, cross-border remittance payment transfer systems, which by the way are 100% clean or near carbon neutral or near carbon zero. A lot of people don't know that. And they're going to work together with CBDCs. And then they're going to regulate, and there's going to be KYC, and there's going to be AML, and all those things that, have been a part of society for a very long time. But here's what you need to understand. So I don't think they're going to ban anything. I think that this is the start of the biggest technological roaring 2021's bull run that we've ever seen. I think Bitcoin not only will move to a zero carbon sustainable footprint in the future, because there's tons, billions, and trillions, if not investment coming into this right now, but I think this is going to be the biggest thing that we've ever seen since the internet, because the truth is an entirely new society is being revealed. We talked about this yesterday with AI, artificial intelligence, and how a lot is changing in the world today. In fact, I was reading a great article from Sam Altman, who's a very well-known technologist. Maybe you've heard of him. He was a part of Y Combinator, which of course was the byproduct of various venture capital investments like Airbnb, Dropbox, Zenefits, Stripe, and also Coinbase. And he penned an article within the last couple of days talking about Moore's Law for everything, talking about that OpenAI, he's the CEO of OpenAI, artificial intelligence. This is like the new space race, the new Sputnik moment, right? I believe that we've already reached that level of 1,000 qubits in quantum computing. I believe that we're hitting that vertical parabolic shift right now into the singularity. I believe we've already achieved it. I believe computer algorithms are actually running the show. They exceed human consciousness right now. But his article, Moore's Law for Everything, I'll put a link in the description, talks about how society, because it's being governed and will be governed by AI, it's going to bring the cost. This is his theory. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with everything, but his theory is it'll bring down the cost of goods, services, housing, and energy and these kinds of things, and actually be so efficient that it will improve the lives of the constituency here in the United States, you, me, citizens all around the world, and will actually make you money. As we migrate to a UBI, a universal basic income, which seems obvious and very, very apparent, it seems plausible that as a result of that, Americans will be getting paid checks every single month for basic necessities, for basic living needs. His argument is, as a result of this, these efficiencies, the parabolic shift in artificial intelligence, robots replacing jobs of humans, self-driving cars replacing drivers, machines and robots replacing people in factories, that because of that, costs will go down and the money will essentially go into people's pockets in a cost savings. He estimated that there could be somewhere like $13,500 within the next decade that every American would earn based on our population metrics as a result of these efficiencies. Now, I'm not saying I agree with everything here. It sounds a little idealistic in my view, but he also brings up some interesting comments that I think we should consider. Comment number one was that what if there was some kind of tax that taxed companies' profits as a percentage of their aggregate shares? So what if in the future, instead of the tax-based system that we have today, every U.S. citizen in what he called an American fund, say was granted 1.5% of the shares, the total shares outstanding in distribution of, say, Google or Facebook or Microsoft or Coinbase. And that was added and basically given to the American people in the form of a UBI. And then he takes it a step further and says, what if also land was taxed at, say, 2.5%. See, in his view, and these are just his views, they're not mine. I'm just explaining to you what his views are and what these major technologists are looking towards as we build this open AI future. And artificial intelligence really, truly is the new Sputnik space race moment. And whoever controls this technology will be the dominant country and superpower in the world. So the point is, everything is changing in a very, very big way as a result of AI, computer learning, quantum-based systems, and more. And so society is changing. And the model of financial wealth, growth, economics, and more importantly, sustainable resources, in my humble opinion, is going to change profoundly in the coming years. Also, BitClout, I brought that up earlier in today's video, has also gone live, basically tokenizing celebrities and their social media profiles online, similar to Bitcoin being a decentralized new technology for store of wealth, store of value kind of like the equivalent of digital gold, BitClout is a new decentralized blockchain-based technology that tokenizes the value of online personalities like the one that you're tuning into right now. In fact, you can track the live prices of BitClout usernames. Starting with Elon Musk here, I see that his BitClout profile, his coin price is up, well, it looks like it maybe doubled in the last 24 hours at $67,000 per coin. Others like Katy Perry at $17,000 per token. CZ Binance, founder, creator, CEO of course, Binance at $16,000 per token. Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum network, $15,755. Mr. Beast YouTube at $15,000. Justin Bieber at $14K. So it's created this marketplace that's tokenized through blockchain-based assets and the BitClout platform, the ability of social content creators, many of you tuning in, and like the guy that you're watching right now, their ability to actually tokenize the intangible value of their or your online presence. Now, a lot of people are saying things like, oh, this is a scam. How can this work? But that actually has garnered more attention for me personally because most of the things that I've studied that people have said are a scam turn out to be the best and greatest opportunities. Case in point is many people thought Bitcoin was a scam, and it's up, over 1,000% since its inception and is the best performing asset in the world, bar none. Those are just the cold, hard facts. So I'd pay attention to this, do your own research, of course, not financial advice, but it's very, very interesting to see the tokenization of not just the entire internet through NFTs and artwork and collectibles, but now online media personalities like the one that you're currently watching. Also, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ fall from recent record highs today on a huge popping of the 10-year yield, soaring to levels that we have not seen in 14 months. Technology shares led by the S&P 500 lower on Thursday as a spike in bond yields. Also, we saw this in oil prices going down like 4%. Fueled fears of equity valuations and cause investors to sell growth-focused high flyers. Now, in my opinion, this has something to do with the fact that the economy should soon be opening. In fact, Biden, we're still waiting for more information on this, if he's going to open up flights and improve the travel restrictions that were currently in place as a result of improvement in the pandemic. Could the market not in the short term maybe take a little bit of a dump before it's propelled much, much higher? Now, I still think, this is my humble opinion, that there is so much liquidity in the marketplace, so much cheap money, and as a result of the Federal Reserve signaling yesterday that they will not be raising interest rates anytime in the near future, not until at least 2023, means to me that people are going to borrow money, especially hedge funds and other companies on Wall Street, as well as people like you tuning in, retail investors, so that they can earn yield in what is otherwise proving to be not just an inflationary environment. The Fed was talking about this yesterday, but what many people are calling could be hyperinflation. So that's all I have for today. I'd like to hear from you. Place a comment or question in the box below. And also, don't forget to hard hitting it in your face. Hit that like button. Do you think that the government, any government around the world for the matter, will ban Bitcoin? Do you think the US government will ban Bitcoin, or will they just regulate and push this thing much, much higher? I mean, looking at the actual facts, we're approaching now $2 trillion plus in the cryptocurrency total market capitalization. Bitcoin's trading well over $1 trillion. So I do believe that there's going to be regulation personally, but to ban something that's going mainstream, that we have major IPOs coming to market, which is their primary business model, to have major announcements from Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and PayPal and Square Inc. and even Tesla adding $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and probably more in the future. I don't see this as just a fad or a trend. It's literally the future of money and technology, which is what I've been telling you this whole freaking time. So to learn more, click the link below. Visit us at bitcoinrich.com and enroll in school. We do have a few openings left. Make sure you get in. We've got a promo code SAVE100. Learn everything that you can today. Pivot, leverage, and potentially profit, not financial advice, in this radical new tech, which is changing the world. And you know what's in short supply right now? Optimism. In fact, always go against the grain. I believe that the American public and the public in general is far too pessimistic. And as things start to open back up, as Biden has suggested, we're going to start to see, travel restrictions lifted maybe as soon as May. As the pandemic is put behind us, Honestly, guys, I think this is the roaring 2020s. I believe and kind of agree with Sam Altman that we're moving to an entirely new paradigm, a new system of government, of society. And AI, machine learning, robots, algorithms, whether we like it or not, are taking over in a very, very big way. So does this replace humans, or does it just improve our lives and give us more time to do creative thinking and spend time with family and friends, and potentially, as he suggests, redistribute, I'm not saying I agree with all of it, wealth across society in a more beneficial and pragmatic way? Again, I'm Christopher Greene. This is AMTV. Click the links below. Want to see you at school, hard hitting it in your face, and make sure to like and share this video.